Today, I'm talking and vibing with Daniel. He's a strong believer in the great things education can get you in life. Daniel is a serial entrepreneur and a financial psychologist who has years of experience in entertainment and is looking to connect Africa's young talent to Europe and the rest of the world. From Mushi in Lagos, Nigeria to the world, we'll talk about everything, and I hope you get value from this conversation.
My name is Sanni Moses Daniel, where people call me SMD, just to call it sharp because I love people calling me by my full name. I'm from Nigeria. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. Specifically, I was born in Musholosha in Lagos State, but I'm from Edo State, and I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. And after that, I had my primary and secondary school there in Lagos, and then I moved to Benin for my university. I'm recently University, and then after that, did my NYC in Enugu, worked as a radio presenter for NCA, then did some work for OBS, and then Solid FM Enugu back then. And then I came back to Lagos, started working, joined the entertainment world, see what I could do. A lot of stuff was coming from me, and I set up a record label there, which was called Namida Media Entertainment, and then I met ID Kabasa. We actually do one or two, like it was my big brother that, and it was really advising me, you have to do this, you have to do that. Then before I left Nigeria, and Daniel is just one boy who is trying to make a positive impact, believing that education is not a scam. And I just want to show it to the coming generation that education is never a scam, because that was what we were brought up with. Education was a scam, was the word in the streets then. So I just want people to know that it's never a scam, and I'm trying to make that footprint and delivering it to the people, the boys and the girls in Motion Losha, and to the general Lagos and Nigeria as a whole. Yeah, not it.
Yeah, permit me to call you SMD, right?
Yeah, I can go.
SMD, you just stated now that because the idea of the things that we know back in the street, which popularly known to a lot of young people, like you said, is that education has come.
Yeah, sure.
Where did that change for you, that you realized that no, this education that they are saying is a scam, is not, and will never be?
Okay, so apparently there was a time I lost my grandpa, and we're supposed to try to see if we had to go to school or we are supposed to just learn some work. The work that was actually running there was being a printer, having to print notebook and all stuff like that. Then I looked at myself. I don't have that energy to lift anything. I don't have energy to do anything. The only thing that would put food on my table back then was I must go to school. It was learning, and education was the only part for me. You understand? So I choose that because probably I didn't have the strength to lift anything. I don't have the strength to go and carry or anything, stand in the bus to be conductor. I only pursued it. And then I always wanted to become like Charles Chukwuma Soludo, because I loved the way he was speaking. I loved the way he was. I wanted to become an economist. Then it was the CDN governor. And I was looking at him, at someone. He was the only person I saw outside my immediate environment that I actually wanted to be like, Charles Chukwuma Soludo. So I wanted to be like him when I was growing up as a kid. And that was one. Secondly, I didn't have the energy to do any other thing. Number three was the fact that I didn't have the energy to do anything, but everybody I knew there would tell me that, no, SMD, we can do this one, trash it, you just make some money. Then somebody I knew was arrested because of crime, and he died when he was trying to struggle. Like he was trying to run, and one or two things happened back then. The guy died. Since then, I made up my mind. I know this is it. If it's not education, if education cannot pay me, maybe I'll just be poor in life. That was my focus. Yeah, I was scared to die. I wanted to be like just Masuludo, and I have no any other energy than to do any other work. It's only education opportunity to do my thing.
Wow. So I would say that the death of that guy you knew, running point for you to say, yeah, education or nothing. And
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think it has paid off for you. It has paid off a lot, where you kind of find yourself in the entertainment industry and having to work with NTA and some other entertainment companies, and the experience that you got, the contacts that you built, the capacity that you built over time. So can you help me to understand what the experience was like in the entertainment industry with your time while you were working as a radio presenter and all other positions you had?
Yeah, sure. So during those period when I was a radio presenter and every other stuff, owing a record label was not that because I wanted to be in the entertainment sector. I found out that because, like I told you, I wanted to be like just like Chastikoma Studio as an economist. I wanted to become an economist. So something happened that actually made me discover this talent. My hungry made me discover say I can talk. Yeah, you know, when Grandpa died, there was funds were not available. Is it that you go to school or you go and learn work? You know that. So is it that you go to school or you go and learn work? And me, I didn't grow up with mother and my father. So what I was growing up with was, I grew up with my grandpa and my grandma. My dad and my mom were not there. So after I lost my grandpa, it's either you go and look for money or you leave school, go back to the street. Either go do conductor or go be printer. These are the two major jobs. Also, go the carry gari. Bro, I didn't have that energy. And I started this, and that was, the search for food was the reason I discovered my talents.
The search for food.
The search for food. So if you are hungry, sometimes it could bring out that inner talents in you. You understand? And then you will start practicing it. Some people realize this talent, but they don't go with it because they think that the thing just come like that, it will go. But when you discover it, you now start building on it, then you now start working on that part, you will see it will pay off. Because there is something that will make you, sometimes be angry with yourself. Like, no, I'm supposed to don't be calm. I'm supposed to do this thing. And then you will see that you'll be able to do something legitimately. And like I said, I was really, really hungry back then in school. And that was how I discovered that part.
And that's a good motivation enough for you. And I mean, you've worked across industry area, and especially entertainment industry, and that brings me down to the fact that right now you're not in Nigeria. You're not in Nigeria now. Yeah. What made you leave Nigeria? What was the motivation behind leaving Nigeria to, outside Africa?
Okay. First and foremost, let me say that when I was in Nigeria, after everything I've done for myself, I was working in a very good place, like a good company, and I was earning very well. You understand? So what I was earning was okay for me. I always tell people that what I was earning in Nigeria, my friends would tell you that I was actually living that life. Now, first of all, I would have stayed back in Nigeria. But one, because of the police brutality, every day when I was staying in Lekki Phase 1, and for me to go and see my grandma on the mainland, I have to pay policeman 10,000, not because I was a criminal, no. It was because they would always hold me down there because I was always driving, and they would say, where did you see money? Even when I showed them my ID card, even when I showed them where I was working, they will ask me to give me their phone. I would give them my phone. And when they see a company file, they will tell me that this thing is not supposed to be on my phone. Like, they will always look for something. Sometimes I follow them to the station. I have to stay at the police station. They will just leave me there for like 7 hours, bro. Sometimes because you have things to achieve, you just need to say take and you go. Sometimes it's the ways of the youth. Like I told you before, a lot of youth believe right now that the only thing where they fit to make money not to do scam. But we still have so much Nigerian youth that are actually doing well, bro. I've met Nigerian youth, some of Nigerian youths before in France, and I saw what these guys were doing, what they are developing. Bro, watch out 2025. These guys are working hard and they are developing something. So if I'm telling you that there are some guys like that, but these guys, some of them were in Nigeria, but there was that facility to grow, that opportunity to grow was not there.
Yeah.
I was scared that if I give birth in Nigeria, what will happen to my kids? You understand now? The next world, the global world is like, it's going to be very, very competitive. And if you don't have, the next generation are going to be something else. If you don't put your kids on that right track, bro, they will be serving people forever. Will Nigeria economy allow me to develop my kids like that? No. That was one of the reasons I left. Apart from the police brutality, I wanted to give my kids a meaningful life that I didn't get when I was growing up. So what I'm trying to say is that the Nigerian economy didn't allow us to develop what we have and explode, but they wanted to actually kill it. And this was one of the reasons I left. And I left also because I wanted to have my master's program in Unilag. Was it Lagos State University? And ASU strike did not allow me to enroll. I have an aunt that was in school. She did her master for more than 5 years. Bro, why should I do master for 5 years when I can go to Europe and do it for less than 2 years?
That is insane. For 5 years.
Yes. So I have to just gently pack my things and relocate to Europe. And I came to Europe for my master's. And every time I used to tell my guys, I said, if Nigeria is better today, I'm entering Nigeria back because there's no place like home. I usually tell myself this. Some people might say, no, Daniel, you are wrong on this, but I enjoy Nigeria a lot. I would like to be during years now, but you see Nigeria, there are some things I can easily do as an individual, as an entrepreneur, that will easily just go up.
To my understanding, you have a lot of things on your table right now. Could you help me understand how you're able to balance all of this? First of all, talking about vibes only. Then talking about try sauce. Then
try sauce.
Yes.
Like podcast. Okay. I'll start from Namina Media Entertainment. Now, Namina Media Entertainment. We started Namina Media Entertainment back in Nigeria, and we wanted to bring artists on board. We can develop artists, but the capital was not there like that. So we have one artist there, Yelzi, which we were actually trying to promote and put on board. He has some song. There was a time we wanted to put this my favorite Nigerian singer, Bella Fmuda. So we wanted to put Bella Fmuda on in. And ID Kabasa was a very good person. He is a very good person. And he was really contributing to how my brand could grow. And he was teaching me a lot from what happened from his record label. If I can remember the name again, I will still remember. So he was really trying to advise me and bring me up. He was a mentor, a friend, and a brother. And he is one great guy to respect today. So he's trying to put us on. But unfortunately, the Nigerian music industry is beyond talent. If you don't have money to spend, you might not be able to get it. You understand? So when we saw this coming, we spent a lot of money already. Me and I have a manager, which is Z, and he was really doing a lot for us to see wherever we could get to. But the company was well registered and everything was going on. So if Namina Media Entertainment is to bring up artists, should Namina Media Entertainment also do what other artists and every other person has been doing? Then that was what gave birth to Vibes Only. So our problem statement was what the problem that is being faced by the local artists and content creators in Nigeria. They are not able, when I talk about content creator and artists, I'm not talking about the one you know. There are so many underground artists and content creators that have not been known. Producers, dancers, music writers. There are a lot of them that have not been known, and we're trying to see how we can export those talents out of the borders of Nigeria. So this was one problem we're looking at. How do we showcase these people? So now we have Spotify, we have Apple Music, we have Boomplay, we have Soundseed and all of them. Should we also do the same thing like that? No. That was why we said, okay, the app we're going to be developing is where we're going to showcase all up and coming artists, individual, where they can put their content directly, either or then the global world can see it. Now, you know, I cannot give you all the information because the app is still coming out. So, but the app is going to export some of African content to the general world. So it means that if you are in California right now, you don't need to go to Nigeria to sign an artist. The artist in Nigeria does not need to go to the studio to do song if he cannot afford studio session. That person that is in Ikorodu, that is struggling to go to the studio, you don't need to struggle to go to the studio. We have Afiz is in USA. He cannot come to Nigeria because he does not know who to connect with in Nigeria, because the entertainment industry in Nigeria is very big. You don't know the right person, and you don't know where to source for the right talent. So all you need to do is to go to Vibes Only.
It's really, really amazing that you're doing that, because like the Nigerian entertainment industry is packed with so much talent. It is now choking the industry itself.
Let me tell you something quickly, Afiz, before you continue. Shay, one of the biggest focus of Vibes Only or Namina Media Entertainment is not just to export those artists. We find out of recent that looking at documents we've seen, the kind of contracts that Nigerian record label and business owner and promoters brings on table for up and coming artists, they will never make it in life. So we need to also see that Vibes Only app is also connecting with not just artists and everybody, but music lawyers who knows about entertainment. They are the one that will direct you. We are connecting lawyers not just in Nigeria. We already have some lawyers also in the Netherlands. Like, we already have those camp of lawyers. They're also going to be on the app.
Amazing. I mean, you know, I personally look forward to this.
It's a room for so many things. The only one I've mentioned is just a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you will see it. You will see the app. We're launching it. Just that right now we've got like 3 partners, and we're still trying to get more partners, because it's not just Nigeria we're looking at anymore. We're looking at Ghana. We're looking at Kenya. We're looking at, there are so many countries that actually want to do music, but there are no opportunity for them to actually put their music out there because of cost of production, which is really high, which we know. And we need to actually let everyone's voice to be heard. And this is what Vibes Only is bringing to Africa and to the rest of the world.
I want to ask just this last question about Vibes Only. Would you say it is advocating for artists, ensuring that artists connect get connected to global opportunities as well, or artists and record label. I mean, help me understand the idea around that.
So we're connecting artists and a record label. I give you a clear example. You own a studio in America. You own a studio in Europe. And now you want to source for talent because one of the most sellable products right now in the world is Afrobeat.
Absolutely.
And Afrobeat is going to be there till like another 25 years. Afrobeat will still be there, bro. I'm telling you. Now, if Afrobeat is going to be there, then we need to keep supplying them Afrobeat vibes. And the only way we can keep supplying them Afrobeat vibes is having Afrobeat artists, not just Afrobeat artists, because any artist, more than 95% of artists coming from Nigeria, and even rappers, they're all doing Afrobeats.
Yes.
They're all doing Afrobeat. Forget every name that this one will call his own style, this one will call his own style. Guy, you guys are doing Afrobeat. You understand? Now, even a country that have not heard of Nigerian before, play one Burna Boy or Whiskey or Davido or Rema, anything. They want to actually vibes to it. But we want to let them know that these are not the only artists we have.
Like you said, the export of the Afrobeat vibes has to come from the export of Afrobeat talent. And this is me just saying that thank you for the work that we do with Vibes Only. Like it's amazing. And I look forward to seeing it when it launched, right? When it launched.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So, we want to also tell me briefly about Trisos. And then we move on to the role as a financial psychologist.
Okay. Basically, Trisos is all about we actually formed this company to make sure that we see a lot of stuff that are happening in Africa. And I'm not saying Africa is a bad place. Africa is the best place today. Just that the way our government has decided to manage our resources has been very, very poor. I don't want to use any other word. And we want to give kids opportunity, and especially people that wants to come to Europe. We listen to a lot of stuff. People are being scammed of their money. People are being scammed of their hard-earned money, just because they're looking for a greener pasture. So, but this is it. What we intend to do, or what we are doing currently, is we have partnership with Sanni University to bring people in for masters, bachelors, and PhD, and right from anywhere in the world. And then also we have some connect with some company to employ people directly from Africa, and they get a job here. So we also know that there are some companies that does this thing, but bro, how can you tell someone in Nigeria that you got a job for the person in Europe, but you want him to pay 5,000 euro to do it? Where will he get 5,000 euro? Let's be sincere. And the company is not asking you for money.
Like these are the things that these agents do. But I mean, it's eating up a lot of families. A lot of people that are also very ignorant of what the steps are, what the requirements will be, and what is expected of them.
It's not bad if you help someone and the best thing you say, okay, this person, I want to do this thing for you. We know that before the company does this, they're going to pay some taxes because you're the one doing it. You're going to run up and down. Okay, 2,500 euro. You ask somebody for 7,000 euro for Nigeria. You know how much the exchange rate? You ask person for 13,000 pounds just to come work for UK. I don't understand it. How would the person get the money?
I mean, it's crazy.
So in as much we are not NGO, we are not also there to come and keep people. We just want to see whatever we can do for people to actually give them a better life. I feel like my country is always top of my list. I love Nigeria. I've said it severally. I respect everyone from Nigeria. And anything I do to develop my country, anything I can do, I want to do it because I love my country. You understand now? So, but in this sometimes I'm scared to even help people because once you do this, the person comes and do this and do that. But I want to advise all of us, like, if we are coming and say we are changing the environment. When I got to Europe, it was not easy, bro. There was a time I didn't see food to eat. I would call my dad that I'm drinking there. He said, start to the drink. You understand? He said, I saw myself drinking when I reach abroad. It's not your words. Look at me now. So crisis is trying to see that we put people, helping them for education, for their education, for their career, not just education, also career development. See how we can bring them in, get a relatively cheap school that has good quality education. You can get it from there. From there, you can just build your own CV, build your own life, and become a better person. Change does not just start with, I want to go. Change is a mentality. And once you set in that mentality, my mentality was not to be a scammer, not to be a lagbero. My mentality was to be rich and having like everything I want immediately. If I need them, I will call for them, I will get them. That was my mentality. And that was how change begins. Yeah, education. And the only thing that could give it to me was education. Some people come to Europe, they came to school and they don't want to school. But if you don't want to, also do it legitly. And you will see, legit is the only thing that will make you have peace of mind in Europe or anywhere. Even anywhere. It's only legit.
I like the work that you're doing with Trisos, because people, when you change the environment, aside from you helping them to get into their dream school or getting their dream job, when people get into a leader health, it's quite difficult, and it takes time for them to get familiar with the environment, to blend in, for you to also help them to understand the way they do things in the new environment, how you need to behave yourself, and then your career development, personal development, to help them. It doesn't just happen like this. It has to take time, and then you have to set your goal. You have to have your head in the right place. So this is me just saying that I thank you for the work that you also do for Trashing. But let's move on to financial psychology. So what does that mean?
I know when you tell people like financial psychology, and people look at it like, what is financial psychology? A business analyst or this and that. Big shout out to Olawale. He's my very good friend. He's in Italy. And Olawale will always want to push me to do everything in this life. Daniel, you must be a business analyst. Daniel, you must be a project manager. Daniel, you must be, Olawale is always pushing me. And big shout out to him. I respect him so much. I met him on Clubhouse. And since then, he has been a brother to me. So this, when we talk about finance psychology, I will first of all say also big shout out to Ramit Seth. He's also my role model. He is a big financial person, and is the author of the book "I Will Teach You to Be Rich." I will teach you to be rich. If you've not heard of that name, Ramit, please Google it. It's very important for you. It will help your financial life. So he's an American writer and also a finance advisor. And the book "I Will Teach You to Be Rich" is also New York Times selling book. Then, so he thought his ways were actually what taught me how to become a finance psychologist. And a financial psychology is not just a title. Everybody's waiting to hear this one. Everybody's waiting to hear this. Okay, a finance psychologist basically we study what we do and what we do with money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So why we do what we do with money is the basic thing we study. It's not just cognitive, it's also social, emotional, and also has a cultural factor when making this financial decision. You understand what I'm saying now? Now, a financial psychology is about the human. It's not about the figures. It's not about the kind of figures, how much you've had in this life and how much you're still going to have. It's how much you can spend on what you are spending on. Why are you spending on it? You understand now? You're just looking at the psychology of money to say, why do you need $5,000 investment? Why do you need $1,000 investment? Why do you need to go to Dubai with $1,000? Do you understand now? These questions are very important. It's just that a lot of us don't ask this question why we spend money.
Yeah, too many of us. Too many of us.
You see, according to Carl, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. And we just call it destiny. We call it destiny. But it's not supposed to be like that. There is nothing like destiny. We all plan things. If I know that people will call for me for this, but if destiny day when it comes to financial spend, somebody would say, so, we used to use this thing to lie. Guy, we will finish this one, another one will come. As we make this one, we'll make another one. That's a wrong mindset. Another one will come in. It's not supposed to be like that. So, when you have money and you want to spend money as an organization, we know that companies want to spend money on those things that will bring profitability. Trying to see how the project manager and the business analyst will analyze the business and the projects will go smoothly in order to make making a rational decision or informed decision that will bring in about profitability. But on the long run and on the short run, let's look at what the project manager and the business analyst is saying. Let's look at the financial behavior of it. I'm not saying that we're not going to make profit. If we invest $5,000 today and the business analyst is telling us that we will make $7,000 profit in the next 3 years, what is the worth of $7,000 in the next 3 years compared to the investment we're having today? It's very important. These are financial psychologists.
That is very striking, yeah? Because if you're looking at the future as to make over $7,000 in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
We know that you have already said it's profit. Yes, it's profit.
It is.
But what is the effect of that profit as at that time? What impact will it have? Let's think about this. Someone that invested 10 million naira 5 years ago, and said, if we invest this 5 million 5 years ago for this thing, in 10 years, we will see 20 million. Do you know that 10 million in Nigeria, using that Nigerian economy, it gets value past this now, the 20 million. The 10 million you initially invested has higher power than the future income. In most cases. So if that is the issue, we need to then calm down to look at the projects again. This is what this project is going to bring. Let's also let's take some things into basket and see what is going to be consumer behavior in the next 5 years or 10 years. Let's look at those things that affect the economy also. So in making those decisions, you are becoming a financial therapist. You understand? You are becoming a financial therapist that is looking at not just the value of what you're going to see, but not the quantity, but the value of what you're expecting. The quantity might be large in return, but will that money has value? With 10 million, will you be able to, if that 10 million, will you be able to pay top management salary in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
At that fight in the next. So you need to actually look at all this in making financial decisions. This, I'm telling you, to companies, individual investment is still different, but every one of us has a financial psychology. Every human, the way you are, you have a finance psychology. If a psychologist. Now, let's talk about you now. You know what you need from what you want, unless you want to lie to yourself. So if you are making a little, you want to make the best decision for the one you are seeing.
Exactly.
There was a time I was very, very broke. I didn't have anything to eat. I didn't have anything to drink. I was buying the poorest bottled water there, the cheapest rather. But bro, if you look on where as you did now, if person call you now, say you get 10,000 CDs, person tell you say make we go club, go spend, make we go board. As you dey club, you want, let's even say as you say you go. As you dey club, you gotta ask how much is Red Deal? How much is Jack Daniel? The way they are telling you the price, you're already being financially conscious.
You're like,
psychologically.
Why should I spend this amount of money on these drinks that I can get elsewhere? You know?
I imagine if you now price it before coming, you know, why mean? Okay, this one is 5,000 CDs here. But bro, man, you know, say this thing. Why don't, you know, there was a time we say, let's drink from house. When we get to club, we just dance. It's being financially conscious. I always tell people, like just the way I learned from Ramit, no, there is no amount of money you have. At that point, that is your rich life. Any amount you have right now is your rich life, your current life. So it's the next phase of life depends on how conscious you are about saving. You understand how conscious you are about investment, how conscious you are about spending. You understand now? So if you are conscious of all this, psychologically, you will make the right decision about money. And money is not about how much you get. If you cannot manage the little, you cannot manage the bigger one.
That's so true. That is so true.
So some people will say, no, when the big one come, if I get 10 billion now,
make I spend it
finish. But it will finish.
And make I enjoy my life with the ones where I get first. Yeah, another one they come, but they expect some money.
I have seen someone that had 50 million before in Nigeria. And before I left Nigeria, I was already wearing battery sleepers to work and beg for food and say, bro, you go buy food for me. This is facts. That was back then, 2015, 16. That kind of money.
When 50 million was really valuable.
Yeah. So I will send this to everyone, and I will say it very clearly. The belief and attitude we hold regarding money has a long way to go. Our behavior when it comes to money is very important. Some people say money gives them freedom. Money opens doors for them. Money gives them the reasons to go for adventures, make memories. Others people will say money gives them security and safety. So as much more money you hold, the more peace of mind you have. Right? These are how some people see it. But in any way you are saying all this, I want you to realize that money is very important, and even more important when you know how to spend it. When you know spend it. Know how to spend money. And when I say spending does not mean transactional alone. It could mean investment. It could mean saving. Nobody expected COVID-19. So many people went down. Only the people that saved towards raining days that were able to survive. Even companies. Some companies never come back. They didn't come back to light again. So in whatever you do, in whatever phase you are, if money gives you freedom, if it gives you adventures, if it gives you memory, if it gives you, it gives anything. I don't know what money gives to you. Some people say money gives them happiness. Some people say money gives them security. But once you discover what money gives you, please always save towards it, because if it gives you now, you will still need it in the future. So you need to keep saving and investing. You will ask me, what can you invest on that can actually fetch you money? I have done S&P 500. I have a group called Trade Arena. I give them forecast. I give them trading ideas, investment. I have some people from even Clubhouse. Yeah, they're on that group. And what I do there is to give them, if I see opportunity, and I will throw it to them. Even if it's $100 you are making within 1-2 weeks, you're making, at least you are not spending the money. You are making money. Please learn to invest and learn to spend wisely. Before I finish the financial psychology, you will ask, how does it help you? You don't need to be in a financial hangover. You understand now? Understanding your financial attitudes will help you to make a better decision. If you don't know your financial attitude, please, I beg you, stay one of these days, stay in a week, understand your financial attitude, understand your financial behavior. It will help you to make better decisions and improve understanding of how you spend and make your money. God bless you.
SMD, this is by far one of the things that people are struggling with that you just touched on this literary conversation. Because a lot of people need to question why they spend what they spend, or why they spend how much they spend on specific things. Just like you gave an example out of going to a club. People just spend money just because they want to impress the other person, or just because they want to be seen. You know, people have different things. And this is really a thing of the society among, a lot of young people, that they do not understand the importance of, one, you making the money and saving the money and getting more education, like you said, as to understanding what you need to invest on. If you find an investment opportunity, do your own research, have your own understanding. Also invite analysts or people who professionally understand what you're investing. You have the monies to pay for those services, no problems. Just so you have an understanding of, a core understanding of whatever you're putting your money in. And this is just a very important issue to touch on. This makes me think that your work as a financial psychologist is such a very important one in any company or in anyone's life. So what would be the lessons that you've learned based on all of your journey, let's say touching on entertainment in Nigeria, and then the things that you want to do with Vibes Only? What would be the lessons that you've learned from entrepreneurship?
Okay. One of my biggest lessons is I will say this before I say that. There are two sets of people that will continue to fail in life. First, my belief. One who take all advice and one who does not take any advice. These two people will continue to fail in life. If you take all advice and if you don't take any advice. So there was a point that, why I said that is, there was a point that I was changing my business model due to every feedbacks. So if you're a business person listening to this, you don't need to change your business model because of every feedbacks you get. You can just improve on the business model. I was busy changing business model because of each feedbacks I was getting. So my biggest lesson was giving up. I gave up in a business that's supposed to be, no, bro, I'm supposed to not make money for that business, right? I gave up. Yeah. I gave up, and it was so the first day I heard this word, if who give up, now you fuck up. That thing was actually referring to me. I would say never give up. Never give up. You don't need, I'm saying this for free. You don't need your father. You don't need your mother. You don't need auntie. You don't need brother. You don't need anyone. If you believe it's only you, you will achieve it. I did it. I was so focused that I would tell my dad that, look, this is what I want to do. And the kids we grew up together that had all their parents' support and everything, most of them are nowhere to be found today. So in everything you are doing, if you tell your family too much, they can tell you. Now, they are not telling you to stop because they want you to fail, because they are scared that you will fail. So because they are scared, that fear, they will be telling you, don't do this. It might not go like this. Once you start hearing those different echoes, and we stop. I'm not asking you not to take advice, but learn to filter advice.
I mean, talking about, opinion of people, talking also about family. People can love you so much to a point where they begin to get scared of where you're going because they are not seeing what you're seeing. Because I've been there before, right?
Yeah.
Some people that love you most could possibly be the people that will give you the worst advice. Not because they hate you.
Yeah.
Not because they hate you, but because they are so scared that, there's a potential risk and they are not even sure you're capable of, scaling through.
Yeah.
They are not sure if you're capable of having the capacity to handle those risks or manage those risks. So in some cases, and this is me just saying that you're right. If you are a person that takes advice, every advice that comes your way, you have to just implement. Probably that you don't know what you're doing, and you're set up for feeling at some point. So talking about impact.
Yeah.
You've said so many things that makes me believe strongly that you are a person that wants others to succeed. You're a person that wants to bring other people out from where they are to where they should be. Using Trasos, using vibes only, also with your financial psychology.
And we have no capping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we have no capping.
What would be the global impact that you intend to actually make?
Okay, see, I'm one person that one of the things I want to do when it comes to making global impact, apart from being able to be the CEO of Vibes Only, the apps that connect African to the rest of the world, African talent to the rest of the world, it's a big thing for me. And I'm also a very good observer and fighter and for supply chain. When I say supply chain, it's a very big thing, and I know you know that. So, recently I had a conversation, and I told a friend of mine, I said, do you know that Africans and Asians, when we talk about hunger and starvation, you go to so many places in Africa where kids cannot afford a plate of food a day, right? Does that mean that the food produced in Africa is not enough to feed Africa, or produced in the world is not enough to feed the world? That is a very big lie. So we are actually looking at facing supply chain in terms of food supply, because we find out that the food that is produced in the world is enough to feed the whole world, but because the food are being wasted, you understand that some of them get spoiled. Now, even the local farmer does not have a preservative method. They don't have enough fertilizer. They don't even have a storage unit. Someone doing yam and tomatoes farm, the yam will spoil, tomatoes will spoil. It was really small he will bring to the market. That means a lot of food are being spoiled in the farm. So this is what we're trying to bring in as an NGO. This is the first time I'm coming into an NGO, bro. I know I did an NGO before, Absolute Knowledge Institute, where I have children from the street. I had about 1,716 students. We're teaching for free. Back then, both Mushi and Beda were doing it for free, like my friend, Absolute Knowledge Institute. But now, this is one thing I'm trying to bring friends together to see what we can design for this supply chain, especially for, let's look at countries where you see this hunger level in Africa. And I try to study the reason why there is. So is it that they cannot farm? What is really happening? India is the only NGO I would do in my life. That is one thing I'm actually looking at. If it's one country I will impart, I want to impart them positively by managing their supply chain for food.
This impact in itself is in a very, very large scale. And the supply chain problem is a global problem, right? It is,
yeah.
It's a
pandemic. Yeah,
right.
That is why we're not looking at it to the rest of the world. Like I said, we'll choose one African country, look at what is the problem in that country in terms of food supply. We need to come into this. We need to see how to help people. We need to focus on Africa because we are Africa before we will comes up anything else.
Absolutely. Yes, we are. For all of the impact that you are trying to make, the ones you need, the ones you're currently making, right? I wish you well in all of these endeavors, because like you cannot hear all of these things and not be proud of a boy that I was born in Mushi.
Big shout out to my Mushin people.
Mushi people, your boy is making waves, is making impact, is giving value to the world. You found your purpose in education, which gives you access to every other things that you have now. So what would be your message to every other young people out there?
So my message is this. I'm not saying, when I say education, I'm not saying that you must be a first class. I was never a first class student when I was doing my first degree. So my advice is that when I say education is giving me everything I actually wanted, and that part, don't be scared, whoever you are. You must not make first class before you become a better person. You must not make 2-1 everything, but it's important to actually strive hard to get good results from school. It's important. But the attitude and the character you build from the 4 walls of the university matters a lot. And I want to tell you something for free, that anyone that went to university as a graduate and it came out with at least a good result and believes in him or herself, will actually go higher and will become greater. Because there is something in the academics world that separates you from the regular stuff. Even business owners that have even had successful business, they are still going back to school. That means there is something in school. There are some business owners who are now successful business person, but yet they still want to go back to school. Even when they are 60, 40, 50, they still want to go back to school to go and learn something. That simply means something did that place where they go back to. So now that you have the opportunity, take it. Crime is never an option. Our name is not Yahoo people. Our name is not online scammer. Remove it from your mind, because all these things, they will pass away. The only keep.
Hello, Daniel.
You are a waiter, a waitress, you are a plumber, anything you are. It's not necessary that you must go to school. Mine is a case of school. Yours could be like you believe that plumbing will give you that opportunity. My brother, I will give you. Believe in whatever you are doing. Dedicate your time. Research about it. And you will see yourself going higher and higher. And once you get to that top, you will never come down, because you didn't get here by scam or by anything. You will keep going for life. And in everything you do, love your family, love God. Biggest fans you have in life is your family and God.
SMD, I truly appreciate you for all of this wisdom, all of the impact and value that you give to the world. And I appreciate your time on this call, for this conversation that we're having. And we're going to close this discussion by just quoting John Buchan. He says, "To live for a time close to great minds is the best kind of education." Right? My own personal interpretation of this is finding a person or finding people that inspires you through their greatness means that greatness is way closer to you than ever. And, you telling every young person out there to not do what is not right, continue to do what is right, continue to aim for the great things that they want in their life. This means that yourself, you are a great mind, and I truly appreciate you, and we all appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
So, SM, thank you once again for your time on this call, and I wish you the best with all of the things that you're doing. I wish you the best with all of the impacts that you want to make.
Yeah. Big shout out to every one of you, Mag. Big shout out to you. And I want you to know, for everyone in charge of this program, everything you're doing, don't give up. And I want you to know that it's just the beginning. And once the beginning fly like this, all of you will be up there. And I want you to be aware that Impact Badger, we will wear the badge. All right. Thank you so much.